right, everybody, welcome back to the Big Blue Dynasty Series here on Madden 26. We're in the off-season now, setting up for the 2026 season. And the New York Football Giants, right, are in a situation where we are starting over with a new regime. We got our new GM in Ian Cunningham, which I don't know why Madden took away the GM situation, but it is what it is there. But we are starting this season off with our new head coach, Joe Brady, the former OC for the Buffalo Bills. It's a setup with the spread that I think is going to help Jackson Dart out quite a bit, and we will make sure to set up our custom playbooks along the way. One of the things that I did realize, though, is anytime you deal with the coaches and stuff, something ended up happening. The Giants ended up re-signing Jermaine Illuminor for a one-year deal, I guess. Or maybe that's not true, because we haven't advanced it yet. Maybe that's why. I moved him in a right guard. Oh, man. Maybe he didn't get signed? Let me double check that real quick. I'm going to move him back to right tackle because that's where he was initially. Let me switch him back real quick to right tackle. Because I had him, I thought the CPU signed him, but I don't see a re-signing situation there. So maybe we're not allowed to re-sign. But I re-signed everybody I needed to. Dane Belton, Troy Anderson, things like that. And I moved Troy actually from a Will linebacker to a Sam linebacker. I wanted to leverage that. I think Troy can play really well on the strong side of the setup here. We're going to go ahead and advance it to the following week and see what happens. Now, we have a lot of players that I'd like to potentially grab, and we'll check out the rookies in just a moment. But I want to get my team in the right spot. Let's double check our depth chart here, see if the players are truly gone, and it looks like they are. So so we are left with 46 players left on the roster, and we do not have a whole ton of cap, folks, and we're going to have to start thinking about how do we want to shift this. So we're going to look at our team salary real quick before we go into the free agency market. We have a lot of decisions to make there. Now, there's a couple of guys, right, that you could make some decisions on. Dexter Lawrence is one of them. I think if you restructure his contract, that would free up $9.38 million. Dexter's not going anywhere. I think that's an easy contract to restructure to give us some space right there. When you look at some other guys like Andrew Thomas, right, do you want to restructure that? That gives us $12 million. 100%, that's exactly what I'd like to do to ensure we are in a good spot there. Malik Neighbors, I mean, I don't think he's going to have a whole lot because this is his rookie contract. Yeah, that's not going to really move the needle there. Brian Burns is someone we can probably move the needle on. That would free up $15 million. So we just restructured contracts for 3 of our bigger players. And what we'd like to look at now is there anybody else that we could potentially make that decision on? Now, you look at someone like John Runyon, who is an okay player. He's not a bad guy, but look at that. Only gave up 1 sack last season. So he's doing all the right things for us. He may not have the most incredible skill set, but if he's going to play well alongside someone like, Andrew Thomas, why the heck not? And he hasn't regressed yet. So I think you roll with what you got there and you're happy about it. So by us freeing up that space right there, we're good to go. Now there's one more guy we could potentially cut and kind of move on from here, and that would save us a total of $8.95 million. We would incur $5.46 million, so we'd be about $3 million in space right there for this year if we wanted to do it. Okereke's only 30 years old. He had a pretty good year last year. He's number 8 ranked. Looks like linebacker right there in the NFL. So do you give up on that? Is he top 5%? I don't think you do. I think the restructures right there help us out. It gives us room. And what I wanted to also show is how many picks do we have this year, because we traded a lot. So as you can see, we have 1, a 2, 2 3s, no 4. We got 2 5s, 4 6s, and a 7. So we have an opportunity now, right, to start looking at some potential trade candidates if we wanted to. And that's where I want to go real quick before we look at the combine results and stuff like that. Let's see what's on the block, right? We got Jameis Winston, don't need that. You got players like Tootin, Charbonnet, Corum, don't really care for that. I mean, Trevor Etienne would be kind of neat, but it's not really my thing there. Wide receivers, this is something I'm desperately looking at. Dontavian Wicks is on the last year of his contract. That looks like a really solid guy. Some of these, like Jalen Polk, he actually got traded from the Patriots to the Saints due to the injury issue. And I could see that being a, he's 6'2", 203. He's a pretty decent sized guy. I mean, that could really work out for us. You look at Adonai Mitchell. We were talking about that in real life. Dude's got incredible speed. Can take the top off. We traded, Jalen Hyatt away in real life in our series. So Adonai Mitchell could definitely fill that spot there. His catching's not bad too. That wouldn't be a bad move right there. They're looking for free safety, but I mean, I'd probably look at picks at that point. We do need some tight ends. We no longer have Bellinger. It's Fedoni and Theo Johnson. So looking at some other guys like, Luke Musgrave wouldn't be bad. Cade Stover from the Texans could be a steal there if we could try it. So they got some potential candidates. O-line, I mean, you want to try to see if you can find something, but I'm definitely interested in a center in this free agent market. We want to look at a new right guard, 100% right. That's what we got to deal with right there. Christian Haynes, I mean, he's still young. He could work out for us in that spot. Marcus Mabeau playing right tackle is more than enough. You look at some other guys here, I think realistically that none of these work. Like none of these work right here. Jordan Birch is probably the closest thing right there, but none of them really make sense until about here, it looks like. Brennan Jackson, Nick Hampton from the Rams could be fun. Robert Beal, another depth piece there. Mozzie Snow. No. Nwosu, good vet. BJ Ojolari. I mean, you could see some pretty decent guys there. No one's giving up a Sam. Barrett Carter, that doesn't make any sense. Maui Goa. I mean, he just drafted last year. Some of these things I don't get. Like the system doesn't. They should not be on the block. A Christian Ellis would be fun. I mean, Tyrone Hopper's another one. I'm looking at some corners too. If we can find some other, corners, I wouldn't be upset about that. I don't think we're going to be able to get any of these guys. None of it, like Nehemiah Pritchett, maybe. TJ Tampa, I mean, maybe. Some of these things just aren't within, they would never trade Kalen Bullock. Like, that is such a weird decision right there. Jaden Hicks is another one I wouldn't, why would you do that? Xavier Watts? No way! Wow, dude, some of these guys on the block are insane. So trading block, nothing there, but we got 36 million in cap space. Definitely want to check out this new draft class, right? You got some guys here like Lenore Sellers. Everyone's in love with his speed. He's decent under pressure. He's not a bad guy, but I would still feel like this guy's kind of a Anthony Richardson plus, maybe he's a 2.0 kind of deal. He just doesn't look that good in college football right now, but he is up there. Mendoza's moved up from Indiana. I mean, you got a lot of teams that are looking for a QB, and that wouldn't be a bad move for them. You got Ruben Bain from freaking Miami is legit. You got Caden Proctor from Alabama. You got Maui Goa from Miami. I would love a tackle like that. I wouldn't be upset about that. You got Ty Simpson from Alabama, looks to be a pretty good one. I mean, Spencer Fano, I'd love to snag this guy up. He's a tackle that I wouldn't be upset about. Now, we got Marcus Mabeau. I mean, you could move Mabeau to right guard if you really needed to. to kind of keep all this stuff in order too. So we got versatility there. You got some QBs that are all over the place, but I wouldn't be upset with looking at wide receivers like Jordan Tyson from Arizona State. Carnell Tate from Ohio State would be really awesome. You're looking at even Mekhi Lemon from USC. All of these guys look freaking nice, man. So, you know, I'm assuming Lenore Seller had a ridiculous combine. Did they not? Whoa. He didn't participate. Oh, shoot. Lenore Seller said, nah, Duke, I ain't doing it. Wow. That's incredible. Let's see. How did Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame, 4'5"? He's probably the biggest freaking cat out there, though, man. He's a running back that people would love to have. We are fortunate to not have to deal with that. Now, I'm looking at some other guys like Katron Allen from Penn State. He's a mid-rounder I'd be pumped about. CJ Baxter out of Texas would be really chill. I mean, Jaden Ott, like a day 3 kind of guy. There's some day 3 guys that I wouldn't be upset with trying to look at and taking on. But wide receiver, there's some pretty good ones, man. You got Concepcion from Texas A&M. But if you're going to get a wide receiver in the first round, I think there's an opportunity there. There's some day 3 guys that aren't bad. Eric Singleton at Auburn. Maybe Dion Burks from Oklahoma. Zachariah Branch from Georgia would be a fun one. There's no tight end I'm really pumped about, but I wouldn't. You know, you got Oscar Delp out of Georgia. That's a guy that I would not like. I'd be pumped to have in the later rounds there. He's a day 3 guy that I think could really help out with our offense and the spread that we're at. More weapons, the better. I will be emphasizing, though, O-line. This is huge, and this is important for the Giants. You need to get your O-line in order. We need to make sure we have options there, and we're going to scout them, man. We're going to scout them all day. You got a guy here, Pregnon, out of Oregon. I mean, you snag him up. He's a round 3-4. You get him later. We got a ton of picks in day 3 that we can move up on. I am considering a center. You got someone, Jake Slaughter out of Florida. I wouldn't be upset with trying to snag up a center in the earlier rounds. Connor Liu from Auburn would be pretty clean right there. Looks, really solid. Actually really like that. Did they show his attributes? Yeah, A awareness for Slaughter. A awareness for Brailsford out of Alabama. A little bit smaller, but that's not a bad move right there. Tackles, I'm always going to be considerate of tackles. We need to get the O-line in order. Continue to keep drafting the O-line. It looks like Jaden Roberts would be a nice snag in the second round. He's really got that talent right there to work out. But we could wait and we can go after Armaj Reed Adams out of Texas A&M. Really sneaky find right there. I mean, you get the O-line that you need and work out. We can look at some edge rushers too and kind of build this list out. But, I mean, there's some pretty solid guys. DTs, Caleb Banks out of Florida. He's a little bit older, but the dude's huge, 6'6", 330. If we look at his combine, who had the biggest freaking bench? It was Caleb Banks. He's gonna eat up space. That's what I'm talking about, dude. I don't really care for like the fastest guy. I'm looking for the freaking strong as heck, someone that's got a good vert, which it looks like Peter Woods would really fit that there. His broad jump also reflects that. I mean, you got another potential good guy there to be an early round pick, but and you can't be upset with some of these guys that are out there. Sam linebacker, probably look for some maybe a day 3 kind of guy to kind of work through it. They've got some speed here in the later rounds, so UDFAs. I like that, man. There's some pretty interesting players here. We want to continue to keep bringing in depth, though. Our guys are just, I need to make sure like we get these linebackers ready. And you look at some of these guys, man, they're pretty solid. Corners, 100% you need to look at corners. And you look at Jermod McCoy there. But you got Mansur Delane at a LSU. Avion Terrell out of Clemson looks solid. He's fast and he's got press ability. 3-cone is one of the best. His shuttle, that's a guy right there. Avion Terrell is someone I'll look for in this upcoming draft. I mean, you got Malik Muhammad out of Texas. He's not a press back. He's man-to-man. Vertical, not so great. You got to be careful of that. I mean, you got another guy like D'Angelo Pons out of Indiana. Indiana has a really good defense right now. Okay. I want to look at safeties. We need to continue to keep building up the free safety group. Javon Holland's there, but he's not really the end-all, be-all for us. So we want to look at scheme for Kamari Ramsey out of USC. I think that's a pretty solid player right there from a combine perspective. Oh, man, there's some pretty decent ones. You got King Mack out of Penn State. I mean, I wouldn't be upset with that kind of move right there. He's a day 3 guy. Strong safety, we're going to continue to look at those as well. 4.38, 22, 38 and a half vert. I mean, he's a 6'2", 199. He's a big freaking safety. I mean, we got Dane Belton and Tyler Nubin, so I mean, you get a day 3 guy or UDFA. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like Cole Wisniewski out of Texas Tech, 6'4", 220. I mean, I don't get upset about that. That's like a late round guy you can kind of throw in there and hope and just see if they can develop. But I want to look at like Tafe. He's not a scheme fit, but I could see Kamari Ramsey as a round 2, round 3 kind of guy, making us work there. And then they don't really have a exact scheme fit, but not too bad. We need to look at a kicker. I mean, you got guys like Dominic Zavada out of Michigan. Kick accuracy is solid. His kick power is elite. So Dominic Zavada could be a guy we can draft. I just don't see myself drafting him that early. If he makes it to us, great, but I ain't about to be wasting a whole lot of draft capital for a kicker. I think you lean on just the possibilities. Wow, why would they do that? That is so stupid. What's his yeah, there you go. Kick accuracy is that. What's his kick? So these guys are all power, but the only one's got kick accuracy of a B or higher is Zavada. Everyone else, not so much. You got Trey Smack out of Florida. Great kick power. So, I mean, we might have to look for another one. Gano, that's who we'd like to cut. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we want to cut Graham Gano. Now, will he be too much for us, or will he be okay? We save about $3.5 million. I think you make the move. He's not that great, and he's heavily inaccurate. You move on. It says, oh, you freed up 1.25 and incurred a penalty of 4.5. Oh, wow. Okay, so we basically paid him to leave. We got 2 punters. Oh, man, did they give him an extension, bro? Jamie Gillen. What's this guy's kick power? I feel like he's crap, dude. Yeah. I'll stick with the youngster. Ryan Reckow. Yeah, he's way better. He's on the practice squad. I mean, we get some of these contracts off, man. You guys aren't a part of this crew. So we open up a little bit of space. We have about 23.5 in cap penalties this year, but you open up the room right there and you allow us to kind of make it work. So we got a kicker situation we got to go through. Looking at some running backs. You see someone like Eric Gray. This is an easy move right here. Free up the space. Don't really care for Eric Gray. We got to retool that running back group. The wide receiver group, Brendan Rice and Bo Collins are going to fight for some spots. We got Slayton there who, is going to be with us for at least another year. Wandale got an extension, and we got Malik Neighbors. We need another wide receiver. Need another tight end. I'd say the O-line. I mean, Hudson's absolutely atrocious. Do you want to keep this guy here? I just don't see that. I think you cut him. If you can bring him back, great. But this is, again, giving us room on how we would like to set up this team. We need a whole new O-lineman. And with Joe Brady here, right, we've got to make sure we protect our quarterback. He's like, that's going to be our focus here. I'm interested in seeing what Miles Murphy can do on the edge there. I think he could be pretty decent. Foskey's going to be out there, so we got some guys to test it out. A lot of D linemen that are going to be tested. We may not necessarily have to draft a D lineman. I'd like to get some just edge rushers and some linebackers in order. I don't see Chris Board making it, but we don't necessarily have to cut him yet. Muasal's fine. And then, we need linebackers. Not so much knowing that we're in a 4-3, but corners, oh my gosh, we need corners. Bo Braid's on here for another year. McNorris is on here, but we don't necessarily need him too. Skinner's got one more year in his contract. I like Skinner. I don't think we need to do anything crazy there. So when you look at the free agent market, let's see where we stand there, right? Like, who is out there? Who is solid? Let's check it out. So let's check out what's out there, folks. When it comes to the quarterbacks, Daniel Jones looking for a new home. Really surprised. I mean, if you were to look at Madden now, they probably increased Daniel Jones's situation. But he finished the year last year, 3,032 yards, 29-9. It's a really good stat right there. 2024, 4,000 yards. That is a lie. That is like the biggest lie. These stats make 0 sense, bro. He had like 3,000, 2,000 yards because he got cut. I don't even think he had he had like freaking 1,300 or something. Wow, what BS on the yardage, bro. 530 yards didn't happen. Okay, so Mac Jones is out there. We'll skip the points. Anthony Richardson is gone from the Colts, so the Colts are retooling that. They need a new guy. Mariota's out there. You got Desmond Ridder, Josh Dobbs, Zach Wilson. Halfback situation, you got players like Nick Chubb looking for a new home. Tyler Algier, Najee Harris, Brian Robinson, Rico Dowdle, Raquad White, Javonte Williams, Jerome Ford are out there. Kenneth Gainwell, Keaton Mitchell. Keep an eye on this guy. This might be a guy we will look at. The reason why I say that is with Keaton Mitchell, I believe he can play special teams. And he would be... Oh, he actually... Wow, he can't play special team? That doesn't sound right. They don't have him as kick return capability? Oh, no, 65. Yeah, I guess he can't. I don't know. I thought he was a special teams guy, but I guess not. Keaton Mitchell could be a guy that helps us out, but I don't think we need that. I'm looking for like an all-around kind of guy. I think a Khalil Herbert can be an interesting find for us. Ty Johnson, I mean, he comes over from the Bills, and that wouldn't be a bad move for us to have someone who understands the scheme a little bit more. Xavier Scott, I think this guy is the one who was on the Vikings. Xavier Scott, I feel like that was a guy that's been talked about recently because they're looking for, it was a combination between Jordan Mason and him. Yep. That's who it is, Xavier Scott. Xavier Scott's not a bad guy right there. I think that's a decent find in that area. It looks like he'd like to play for us. Okay speed, okay actually better acceleration there. Good change of direction. And his catch is okay, 72. So the running backs, there's some decent players that would like to come over. You look at the wide receivers. I mean, Shaheed is the top guy. Marquise Hollywood Brown's another one, 29 years old. Christian Watson's looking for a new home. That could be a really interesting find. Now, he doesn't want to play for us, but this could be a really solid. Now, he's got injury issues. We got to pay attention to that. So do you pay that man that much money? I don't know. Rondale Moore and Elijah Moore, no thank you. Tutu Atwell would be fun, but no thanks. Diomi Brown's been crazy. Duvernay for the return possibilities. John Mechie, I'm a fan of this guy, man. I could bring him in, and I think he would be he wants to play for us. That's not a bad find. He'd be a good depth piece. 80 catching too. I'm a fan of him. Olamide Zacchaeus, very reliable hands. Doolin. So there's some players out there that would like to play for the Giants. That's pretty awesome to see. Tight ends are out there. Darren Waller, no thanks. Noah Fant, no thanks. Hooper, Schoonmaker. I mean, Kobe Parkinson as a tight end 3 is not a bad move. Josh Wiles, another one that I wouldn't be upset about. Harrison Bryant or Calcaterra. These are some okay guys that I wouldn't be upset about having on the tackle. I mean, in the tight end spot. Tackles are out there. Jedrick Wills would like to come over, but I don't see that happening. If I am going to look for a player, I would say somebody like Rasheed Walker would be good, but I don't think there's really going to be much out there. Spencer Buford, you know, not a bad setup there. Tevin Jenkins. He's got a lot of offers. Dylan Parham. I mean, these are some pretty solid guys that would like to, that are out there. Siu Malo's not a bad guy, but I just don't see myself trying to grab these guys. David Edwards isn't bad because I think he can play center. Evan Neal, look at this, man. How did he do? Let's actually check this out. How did he do? We sent him over to another team. Oh, shit. He gave up 6 sacks, dude. Are you kidding me? How many downs? 644. Yeah, he's got work to do. So Evan Neal doesn't want to play for us, and I'm not surprised. I mean, you got some other guys here like Cody Whitehair. I think it's about making sure that you got some depth and some reliability in the O-line. Center is where I'm at. I'm really looking for a center. You got a guy here out of Western. He's college is Western Kentucky. Let's check him out. Where did you play? He played for the Raiders, 8 sacks. What was his draft? He was undrafted in 2021. So he gave up 8 sacks and how many downs? 959 downs. So, I mean, that's not bad. I mean, that's not a bad setup right there. So he played a lot there in Vegas. Josh Myers, David Andrews, good veteran right there. Yeah, there's going to be some competition that I could see doing here. Connor McGovern, no thank you. Or Wattenberg, they don't want to play for us. So I would look at maybe a Meredith right there. Right guard is where we need to make a move. And there's some decent guys. Andrew Wiley could be a guy we'd have to pay a little bit more for. But that's a good veteran O-lineman to have. Sean Rion, younger, you could pay him some money. Looks like he's looking for a 2-year deal. And that wouldn't be a bad move for us there. Cole Strange is out there. No, thank you. Daniel Fa'alele. I was enamored with this guy when he came out of college. And I was so happy when he went to the Ravens because I was like, he's going to get some good coaching. He's just kind of flat-footed, and the awareness shows that there. He's big as heck, 6'8", 380, but it's not really. It's really designed for run blocking. And I don't know if that's really going to help us out with where we want to go. Kenyon Green, no thanks. So if we're going to go for a right guard, I wouldn't be upset with going after a good veteran, someone like Andrew Wiley, or even chasing someone like a former Giant in Will Hernandez. His awareness is too low. That's what kind of scares me there. I'd prefer to grab somebody that could help us out in pass blocking. Yeah, I would look at someone like Daniel and Sean Rion right there wouldn't be bad. He's got decent awareness, okay strength. He's more of an agile guy. I take it. He's a pass protector. So, I mean, that would help us out in the spread for sure. Let's look at the right tackle situation. There's a lot of people that want to play for us there. You got Taylor Moton, Rob Havenstein. You got Jonah Williams, Jalen Moore. Don't understand why they would cut him. The Chiefs paid him a lot of money to play over there. Weird cut. Very, very weird cut. But I wouldn't be upset about a guy like Jalen Moore playing a swing tackle. I mean, could he play in guard? I got to look that up to see if he's capable of doing that. But Joe Noteboom is another one. you got some edges out there, and no one wants to play for us 100%. They know there isn't something crazy, but you look at some of these guys. Drake Jackson, chance for a redemption story there. You look at someone like Taquan Lewis, Yetur Gross Matos. I would love to bring a guy like him in. Dude's big. He can help us out. He's a guy I wanted the Giants to draft when he came out of college over at Penn State. He can compete there. That's not a bad move. Defensive line, right? We got some guys that are on cheap contracts, but it doesn't mean we got to keep them. I think you want to make sure you continue to build up this group where you can, and you got some good veterans and players like David Onyemata, DJ Reader. You got Fatu Kasi out there as a potential guy. Right edge, Odafe Owe, I would love to pick him up. I don't see us doing that. Sam Williams coming over from the Cowboys. The dude's a dog, and he can probably play pretty decently alongside our guy. Now, I mean, you take a chance on someone like Joe Trion Shoyinka, and I think you're going to be happy about it. That rotation with him, Abdul Carter, and freaking Burns would be fun, and I think that's what I'd potentially look at there. As far as Sam linebackers are concerned, I could go after some veterans. I think someone like EJ Speed or Taki wouldn't be bad behind Troy Anderson. I'd look at some of these guys like that. Jacob Phillips is another one I think could really compete. Mike linebacker, we have Okereke. I mean, you could bring in someone like Caden Ellis, cheap deals, Shaq Thompson if you wanted to, but I wouldn't be like this would be a move right here. Nakobe Dean, that's the future right there. You sign him alongside the McFadden and Troy Anderson. That's a young crew you can grow, and that wouldn't be a bad move right there. Will linebackers, all right, we got Micah McFadden. So you look at some of these other guys you could potentially upgrade from that point, and there's some pretty decent ones. I think Malcolm Rodriguez from the Lions would be really fun. Anzalone from the Lions would be fun, where you can kind of get some cheaper deals there. Looks like there's some people that want to sign him, so the chances of us getting these guys now aren't crazy, but like Diabate wouldn't be a bad deal. Channing Tindall from the Dolphins would be fun. Raekwon McMillan's a good veteran. Corner, this is where I really want to spend some money, and there's some good vets out there. I just don't see anyone that's super insane. Kobe Durant from the Rams, I think that would be a fun one to have alongside there. Christian Etienne coming over from the Buccaneers, I think that's not bad. You look at Jaquan McMillan. I mean, you can get some vets here. Jonathan Jones and Devontae Maddox. Okay, so there's some okay guys here, but we're going to have to spend some money. Maybe Jeff Okuda for a cheap deal. Wouldn't be bad. Free safeties, Kevin Byard, alongside Javon Holland wouldn't be bad. I mean, you could bring in Alohi Gilman. He actually got traded for Dafe Owe in some weird trade with the Ravens. That was insane. Juan Thornhill, good vet. I mean, him back there, he's a thumper. That could really set us up in a good spot. We could bring back Jason Pinnock now that we're under a new regime, and it looks like he would like to play for us. I would not be upset about that. Strong safeties, we don't really need any, but I'm always interested. Kobe Bryant, 27 years old, good youngster there. That would help us out. Kicker, I mean, you got some guys that want to kick for us. You got Will Lutz out there. You got Jason Myers. Brandon McManus, former Giant at one time. Matt Gay, 31 years old. He's not asking for a lot. I mean, Joshua Carty. Some of these things I'm always like weirded out about. Like, how do they make the decisions to cut some of these guys? Jake Moody, bro. Jake the Snake. Harold Mevis is a fun one. I think we're gonna pay attention to this spot here, but there's some pretty decent. I need a long snapper. We're gonna have to make sure we snag one up there. Doesn't seem too crazy there, but you want to have a good long snapper, 100%. So ours retired, and it is what it is there. There's not any crazy ones, so I mean, we might have to look in the draft. I don't know how many draft picks are long snappers. Let's check that though. Maybe there is. There is 0 long snappers, so we're gonna have to look at one in the free agency market. But that's not bad. You know, we got 46 million in available cap space in this upcoming free agency market. We moved some players around, restructured some contracts there. Let's double check. You know, let's reiterate what we did in that space. We cut some guys, right? Graham Gano, Gillen, Gray, and Hudson. And here are the players that we restructured. So the Giants restructured three players, and we'll kind of remove everyone else because it's not really necessary. Restructured Brian Burns to open up 15 million in cap space. Restructured Andrew Thomas's contract to open up 12.2 million in cap space, and then Dexter Lawrence restructured to open up 9.38. So that's huge freaking updates there. Really looking forward to that. We will talk through on who we are signing in just a moment. So it looks like some additional players have retired. Robbie Chosen, Dari Ogunbowale, and CJ Gooden. Interesting, you know, you got some players that are moving on. So I just realized, because we couldn't check out the awards, Jackson Dart got Offensive Rookie of the Year and got a Superstar Dev on top of what he ended up doing. So we got a superstar in Jackson Dart. I didn't even realize it. The training worked out. We'll take it. Nice to see him as an 80 overall. All right, folks. So here is who we ended up signing. We grabbed a long snapper, veteran, 39 years old, signed him for a $2 million deal. It's pretty much one and done kind of deal. I'm really happy to pick up a good veteran back there again. It's getting some good players that are used to certain styles. Juan Thornhill currently played, I think he played for the Steelers. I feel like that's where he was at. Yep. And then he played for Cleveland, but before that it was with KC. All of these were 4-3 styles. So I think that fits with what he can do, and he's going to be back there with Juan Thornhill. John Mechie, I'm pumped about this. Is a good wide receiver that can help us out. He can play in the slot, play on the outside, and kind of work through it there. Dave Edwards, we actually moved him to right guard because he's actually played there before having to move over to left guard for the Rams due to some injury. So this guy's very versatile across the line. Beanie Bishop, good slot corner that I think can help us out with Andrew Phillips. I'm really pumped about this player. Joy Treon Shoyenka coming over from the Buccaneers. Dude's got good size, speed, length to be able to play off the edge. And I think that can help us out with our rotation. And we'll see if Miles Murphy and Isaiah Foskey can beat these guys out. It's going to be a fight to see who makes it. Jordan Meredith. This guy actually has a pretty interesting history. We signed him for a 2-year deal, but he's a 6-year veteran. Didn't play. He was in Las Vegas. Didn't play until 2025. And then he ended up playing a ton, at which he ended up going over 959 downs. That's really solid for a guy that's actually a UDFA in 2021. So good veteran. We need to kind of bolster that centerpiece there. If JMS is great, awesome, but we're going to see them compete in the preseason. We went after another edge rusher in Yetur Gross-Matos. This guy was drafted by the Panthers when he was coming out of Penn State. I was actually really pumped for him. And then he's been in San Francisco ever since. 5.5 sacks in those 2 years. I think that's pretty solid there. And he played about 518 downs. So not bad for him. So we got 2 good edge rushers that can help us out there. We snagged up a corner in Damari Mathis. I think this is a player here that could help us out in the slot, on the outside, kind of work with what he can do there. Decent awareness. His catching ability too is okay. But this is more depth right now to help us out if we can't get the guys we want. Snagged up Xavier Scott coming over from Minnesota. He's a running back out of Maine. Good size and speed on him. 6'1", 219. And I think that's going to work out there. Wanted to continue to help us out, right? We got John Runyon, but I think Cody Whitehair behind him. It's a good veteran to help us out. He can play center and he can play guard. And then we got a steal here, folks. $1.5 million deal. It's pretty much a prove-it deal for him. Terrence Steele coming over from the Cowboys. They always like to take our players and kind of do stupid stuff to us. mess with us, so it's nice little move right there, right? They went ahead and ran on us on the last play of week 18, so this is a nice little move right here. Terrence Steele can play in the right tackle spot behind Marcus Bobo and kind of work out. And then Josh Wiley here never really got an opportunity to play as much as he probably should have. Came over from Tennessee. He got cut after 2 years. He was drafted in the 5th round in 2023 and just didn't find, enough opportunity. He played in Carolina for a little bit. I think Josh Wiley is a steal. 6'7", 248, really big guy, and he could play that tight end 3 for us. We can look at some tight ends in this draft, but I think this is a very good move all across the board. We got 2.03 million left in cap space, but I think this is a good move for us. I'm going to check to see if there were any trades in the offseason, and there have not been. Now, this is where things can happen, right? Although we snagged those pieces there, we'll go ahead and select the best lineup or whatever and kind of see what that does to this team. But all in all, right, we're going to see some good things here. You're looking at Cam Scatterbo and Tyrone Tracy there. Got Wan'Dale Robinson, Darius Slayton, but we might see a little bit of John Mechie out there. Wide receivers is still very much in play in the upcoming draft. I think the O-line looks pretty good. Getting David Edwards there is going to help us out. And, I mean, let's look at John Michael Schmidt's stats here. How did he do this year? He only gave up 3 sacks. I felt like he may have given up 3 sacks, but I think he got bullied quite a bit, so I'm kind of shocked there. He only gave up 3 sacks, so I don't know. Maybe he's going to do a little better for us. Grabbing someone like Meredith, though, I'm looking for someone to kind of take it to the next level here, and I believe he could do that for us. He's got some issues with injuries too, so we got to pay attention to that. But we'll have him back here. He's a capable center, and we'll see what happens in that space. I think the O-line looks really good now, having good tackle there. We can continue to draft in that space for sure. On the defensive side, I think, we still got to look at linebackers, but I think the edge now and the line itself is in a really great spot compared to where we were. Cordell Flott playing alongside Paulson Adebo is going to be really fun. Seeing players like Bishop out there and Mathis. Again, these are guys that I think are going to do pretty well for us. We'll still continue to look at corners, but not a bad spot right there for now. We're going to try to figure out the punt return situation, right? You got Xavier Scott with a chance to, or Brendan Rice. I don't see myself having Scatterbo risk that, but we need a kicker in this year's draft, and we'll definitely look for that for sure. But all in all, this team is an 83 overall, 84 defense, 83 offense. Solid, 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 with a whole lot of potential. Now that you got a guy in a dog like freaking Jackson Dart. We worked with him to the point now, folks, where this guy is considered a freaking franchise quarterback. How sweet is that? To have a guy that went from no one wanted him, he was a 68 overall when we started this series, to now he's an 80 overall, and he's a superstar depth. So we worked our ass off for there. He's definitely a captain for the Giants for sure. He's got that C on his chest. But I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in this upcoming draft. As far as the league is concerned, let's see who got signed, right? As far as quarterbacks, Daniel Jones, Steelers, 3-year deal, $32 million steal. Gardner Minshew back to the Colts. Richardson to the Steelers. Wow, dude, Richardson followed Jones. That is stupid. Joshua Dobbs to the Raiders. Halfbacks, Nick Chubb back to the Browns. Maybe that's where he'll retire. Tyler Algier to the Commanders. Najee Harris to the Jets. Robinson goes back to the Commanders. Rachaad White to the Niners. And Javonte Williams to the Commanders. Wow. Commanders. You don't like JCM, I take it. Rashid Shaheed, the speed, goes to the Eagles. Hollywood Brown to the Jets. Christian Watson to the Jets. That's a 3-year, $26 million deal. Very cheap. Elijah Moore to the Steelers. Lockett goes back to the Titans. Tutu Atwell to the Panthers. Sky Moore to the Seahawks. Noah Fant going to the Chargers. I guess they don't like Oronde Gadsden. Darren Waller to the Panthers. Rasheed Walker to the Titans. So they're building up Cam Ward's line. That's a good move. That's a great decision right there. 2-year deal for $31 million. Steal for someone like Rasheed Walker. Jedrick Wills to the Falcons. Tevin Jenkins going to the Broncos, helping out with Bo Nix. Suamalo to the Cardinals. Dylan Parham leaves the Raiders and heads to the Steelers. Connor McGovern's a Falcon. Wattenberg is a Raider. Ethan Posick, a Bengal. David Andrews to the Broncos. Will Hernandez heading, these are good moves. Titans doing some good things there, helping out there. Wow, they grabbed 2 guards. Whoa. Faalele to the Packers. Taylor Moton going to the Eagles there. Lane Johnson retiring. They're trying to fill that lineup. Havenstein to the Niners. Jermaine Illuminar, we wish him the best of luck. He takes pretty much exactly what he wanted. He goes to the Panthers. Jonah Williams as well is there, along Jalen Moore heading to the Rams. Biddicky going to the Saints. Azeez Ojulari to the Bucks. That's their replacement for Troy Shoyinka. Joseph Asai to the Saints. Reader is a Falcon. Joseph Day is a Charger. Onyemata a Raider. Odafe Owe a Raider. Sam Williams a Commander. Judon a Eagle. And Inagbari is a Commander. Devin Bush going to the Raiders. EJ Speed a Buck. Muma a Titan. Taki to the Bengals. Bobby Wags back to the Commanders. Caden Ellis, they paid him. Caden Ellis a Raider. Shaq Thompson a Ram. Quincy Williams, that's a great player right there. He's going to the Panthers. Tranquil to the Titans. Pace a Seahawk. Malcolm Rodriguez back to the Lions. They paid the man. They paid him well, a little over $18 million. Anzalone to the Bucks. Kazir White's a Jet. Kendall Fuller, Panther. Okay. Chidobe Awuzie to the Rams. Razzle Douglas to the Steelers. Shaq Griffin to the Eagles. Reed Blankenship leaves the Eagles, goes to the Jags, gets paid $27.7 million playing Jacksonville. Kevin Byard back to the Titans, where he started. Alohi Gilman is a Niner. Donovan Wilson to the Dolphins. Kickers, Jake Betts leaves the Lions, goes to the Falcons. Tyler Bass leaves the Bucks, the Bills, goes to the Ravens. Cardi leaves the Rams, goes to the Eagles. What the hell? Why did they do that? Why did you do that? I feel like this game does weird stuff with kickers and punters. They have Jake the Snake. You have 3 kickers, bro. What are you doing? Jake Elliott's 31 now. Wow. Weird. Well, that's their decisions. Well, we'll set up and we'll advance it here. This is where we will assess how the draft is going to be, right? We looked at a couple players to kind of see where we stood. Wanted to check out a couple guys there. Some of the players that I looked at, I believe I scouted a left tackle. So it turns out I was looking at Xavier Chaplin at Auburn. Turns out he's a day 3 guy. So he's got all good attributes, but his valuation is showing he's going to be a low OVR. So we got some late round picks. Maybe he falls to us there. Doubt it. You just never know. You're looking at some other cats right here. In the right tackle spot, you got someone like Monroe Mills from Virginia. We can potentially grab late as well, or we can go after Fano and kind of see what we do with Marcus Mabo, who actually played a right guard his first year in college before moving to tackle. I looked at another edge rusher here in Vincent Anthony. So it is projection day 3, and that's exactly what he is. He's got a finesse move. He's kind of a freak athlete as far as how big he is. He's 6'6", 250. Similar to what I saw in, came out of Virginia as well. I feel like they do that there. He's a big guy. It was like, he plays for Chicago now, but he was a big dude. And even similar to what that guy who came out of the Army as well. I thought he was pretty decent, but I was looking at an edge rusher there, and then I wanted to look at a corner. And the specific corner I was going for was Avion Terrell. So he's 5'11", 180 pounds. He's got press, man coverage, and A catching. We do have Cordell Flott, but you always want to build up this group of secondary here, and the dude is elite across the board. When you see something like that, now he's got some injury concerns, it looks like, but man, if he fell to us later in the draft, I say why the heck not? We continue to move up and down the draft. That's going to be our goal here with our guys. How do we leverage our picks the way we can, and hopefully see some good things there. I'm not quite sure who I'm going to set up and who I'm going to grab, but I feel like we got some pretty decent players along the way. I will be trying to grab a kicker in this year's draft, and I mean, Dominic Zavada seems interesting, and we do got some third-round picks, but do we really want to do that? I mean, he seems to be pretty solid across the board. A awareness, B kick. I mean, do you use a day 2 or / day 3 pick, early day 3 pick for him? Maybe. Or do we wait and just try to grab one of these guys here that could still do what they need to do, but you know, maybe we don't give up so much for it. A lot of these guys, it looks like they have just great kick power. Colin Rogers here, I mean, he's decent, but you're talking about accuracy issues here. Randy Bond from Texas A&M, A awareness. His kick power is good. So, I mean, we can go after a guy. We don't have to necessarily, but we'll kind of play this all by ear. So I'll look at a board real quick, kind of make what I can, and then we will head to the draft. So before we check out our draft picks, let's look at the mock draft on where they have everyone going. Looks like the Cardinals are done with the experiment over there with Kyler Murray. They're going to go after Lenore Sellers. Ruben Bain. I mean, the Titans, they have really set up the O-line now for Cam Ward. So they're going to go after one of the best players on the defensive side, Ruben Bain, getting themselves an edge rusher there out of Miami. Commanders didn't have a great year in this series, and TJ Parker, another edge rusher, is heading to them. Fernando Mendoza. He's one of the top quarterbacks in this year's draft, and looks like the Saints are saying, hey, Rattler's great, so is Tyler Shuck, but we're going with Mendoza. Keldrick Falk, another edge rusher. He's going to go to the Browns. They didn't go QB. I guess they're going to love what they got in Shador or Dylan Gabriel. Christian Miller heading to the Bears there, interior line. Caden Proctor, they're looking at him, and they're saying, hey, we'll get that left tackle in order there, helping out their future quarterback. They didn't grab one, so I don't know who they have for a quarterback. Are they sticking with Fields or not? I guess so. Francis Maui Goa, I think this would be a move. He ends up falling to us at 9. I'll take it. Colts going after the Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson. Jermod McCoy to the Chargers. Spencer Fano to the Dolphins there. They're building up that O-line again. Edge rusher LT Overton to the Bucks. Caleb Banks heading to the Broncos. AJ Harris would be another corner, slot corner. That's actually going to help. That's actually really good for that defense. Mateo Ungalele to the Cowboys there. Dalen Everett to the Niners. Jordan Tyson, a wide receiver. So they're building that group, all right. They got Xavier Leggett. They got Tedero McMillan. They got Jalen Coker. And now they're saying we want Jordan Tyson. Arizona State. That's a nice move right there. Tet went to U of A, so a little Arizona connection there. Jennings Dunker from Iowa going to the Chiefs. They continue to build up that O-line. They're done with Jawan Taylor, it looks like. Isaiah World to the Raiders. They got to rebuild that group. 6'8", 318. They got a big dog playing right tackle, so they figure Isaiah World can handle the other side. Kenyon Sadiq. That's a big move right there. It looks like the Seahawks are going to snag him up, build up that tight end group right there for Sam Darnold. Caleb Downs heading to the Browns. Wow. That is a move right there. Avian Terrell. This is a guy we were looking at. I just don't know if we're going to try to trade back up to grab him. Maybe we make the move. We got enough picks to make that decision. Hopefully that can work out. Blake Miller to the Rams. They got another first-round pick. They go Deontay Lawson. So they let Havenstein walk, and, you know, they didn't grab a quarterback, surprisingly. I thought they would have. I wonder if they may have grabbed one in the offseason. Garrett Nussmeier. Wow. So they had Will Howard there. They're saying we'll grab Nuss. Caleb Tomu, left tackle, backing up Spencer Brown, I guess. Or Dawkins, Deion Dawkins. Anthony Hill Jr., Mike linebacker to the Cowboys. Cowboys have a second first-round pick, I guess. Joshua Joseph's to the Ravens. They let it off at OA walk, so they go there. Jake Slaughter, a center for the Lions. Kamari Ramsey, he is that's a very early round free safety and strong safety. They let Blankenship go. They're going to go Dylan Lindemann. Interesting. Huh. Don't know how that's going to work out, but I think we got a good crew, right? So we have a decent group of players that we have on our board, all the way from the top of the pick of the draft, way down to the bottom. That gives me a good amount, right? As you can see, I got a lot of day 3 stuff or day 2 picks that I really wanted to kind of fill that group in. Tons of day 3 guys, and then some UDFAs. If they fall to us, we'll take it. I'm hoping for some good things. One of the guys I'm excited to see if we can grab is Oscar Delp out of Georgia. This guy played behind Brock Bowers, and I think he's a freaking solid tight end. Good attributes all across the board. He's got that Theo Johnson type of ability there. Good route running across the board, and he's got some catching that I think could really help us out. When you look at some of the other guys that we are paying attention to, right, the wide receivers, I would be a fan of snagging someone like Carnell Tate, 6'3", 195 out of Ohio State. He's not the fastest guy. He's got great jumping, great acceleration, but he's a guy that can play that wide receiver too if we can't grab the guy that I want. But like Jordan Tyson's going to make it. He's going to get drafted pretty early there. I do like guys like Mekhi Lemon out of USC. I like, you got Chris Brazel out of Tennessee, 6'5", 200. Kevin Concepcion is another guy out of Texas A&M I'm a fan of. So there's some pretty good players here. Now, whether they make it to us or not, I'm just not quite sure. I like Nick Singleton out of Penn State. I'm a big Penn State guy. I watched them quite a bit. But look at some steals potentially. We can grab Jaden Roberts in the second round. I wouldn't be upset about that. You can grab Drew Shelton, a left tackle out of Penn State as well, to kind of help us out there. We can grab Armaj Reed Adams, we can probably snag him in our second round. We got a couple third round picks too. Maybe he falls to us there. So there's some moves there. There's some decisions. But I'm looking forward to this draft. This is a longer episode, but it's because we get an opportunity to do so much more now with this team and with our new head coach. So I'm excited for that. Let's jump into it. So here we go. The Cardinals are up. Who will they go after? Pick is in, and the Cardinals take Lenore Sellers. No issue there. They do not hesitate. That seems to be the guy that they want. Really interesting to see how that's going to look, right? When you look at that team and just kind of how they're structured, and you look at where the Cardinals stand, they pretty much feel like he's it. Now, if they were to cut him, they would save a whole lot of money. And when you look at that, that's a big factor. I wonder where he can go or where he can get traded. There is a possibility that you could see Kyler Murray on the move in real life next season as well if they end up firing Gannon. Next pick is up here for the Titans, and they're going to take Ruben Bain Jr. No issue there. Commanders are up. The Commanders are going to take TJ Parker, left edge. So stuff feels chalk so far. Let's see who the next pick is. It's going to be Fernando Mendoza. So the Saints, they go after a quarterback as the mock stated, but I'm really interested in seeing what's going to happen to these other players, right? You got Spencer Rattler there, Tyler Shuck there. They don't cost that much, so they're just going to be backups for now, and we'll see what happens there. And that was another thing too. The Browns, they're going to rock with Deshaun Watson, I guess. I mean, they could save some money and cut him, but Browns got a lot of work to do. Dylan Gabriel's horrendous. But maybe Sanders is their future. Browns are up, and the Browns are going to take edge Falk there. That's Keldrick Falk from Auburn. Really good stats right there to make it work for them. Bengals are up. The Bengals are going to take defensive tackle Peter Woods. I think that's going to help them out. Their defense is atrocious. Their offense is set for probably the next 3 years at least. The Bears are up, and they're going to go defensive tackle Christian Miller. It seems to be like something's fallen into place here. The Jets are up. They're going to take left tackle Caden Proctor, and we are up, folks. So we could look at what we do, right? Could we trade back? It looks like the Bills say, hey, man, if you move all the way back, we'll give you a first this year, first next year, a third, and a fifth. Seahawks says you move back, we'll give you a first this year, a second, a fourth, and this year, and a sixth next year. Saints said, hey, man, we made our picks, so we'll give you all of our picks next year. Raiders are going to give us a first, third, and fourth to move back, to move up about 11 spots. The Patriots will give us all their picks, basically. The Packers, same thing. We'll give you a first and second this year. Nope, that's not even it. That'd be future. Jets say, hey, man, we'll give you all our picks next year. No one really is giving me what I would like. I mean, the Eagles, no way. The Dolphins, I mean, that's interesting, but it's all future picks. I don't see myself doing that. I think you make the move, you make the selection, and you're happy about it. He's out there. He's considered a top 5 pick. He's 6'6", 315. We have Marcus Mabeau, right? We got David Edwards. Mabeau can move into the inside. Edwards could technically play center if we want him to. So we got some decisions here. Just because we have players that can play tackle doesn't mean that you stop completely and you stop drafting. If you have the ability to grab the best player out there in that position, I think you snag him up. 21 years old out of Miami. He's got all the attributes that scream that this guy can be really strong for us. No issues with injury. That's another thing that I like. His awareness looks like he could be solid. And, you take with what you can get there. We want Jackson Dart to be safe. And that's what I want to continue to do here. And we'll take what we can get. Welcome to the team, Francis Mauigoa, A-, 12 in True Valley. We drafted him at 9. Played college basketball, I guess. Polished pass protector. Anchors well when defending power moves. Hidden dev. All these attributes can help us out. And again, you got to be happy with this. You put him alongside Marcus Mabeau. Maybe Francis Mauigoa can play right guard until he's ready to roll. Who knows? But that's a nice move for us. Now, we're going to watch this first round because we do got picks, right? When you look at where we stand right now, we got some draft capital. We have some opportunities that if we wanted to trade up, we could, right? You look at what we got here. We got a second round pick. We have 2 thirds, 2 5s, 4 6s, and a 7. Technically, if we wanted to, we can kind of pair some of this stuff up to move in to the third round. We could pair all these up and move into the late first if we wanted to. Maybe that could be a move to where we can consolidate some of these picks and move on. It's not to say that we will, but there are options for us if we want to move up. This is a new group, new coach, new GM. It's a new day. So let's see what happens here. The Colts are going to take Ty Simpson. They think that's their quarterback. So that's 3 quarterbacks taken in the top 10 picks. Chargers are up and they're going to go Jared McCoy, cornerback there. That's a great move for them. Can't complain in that space. Dolphins are up and they go right tackle Spencer Fano. I mean, we could have traded back and just taken Spencer, but I think you take the better tackle and you are happy about it. The Bucks are up. They're going to go left tackle Overton. I mean, moving Tristan Wirfs back to his original spot at right tackle. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that helps them out over time, and I think that's a great decision for them. Next up is Caleb Banks, defensive tackle for the Broncos. The Texans are up. They're going to take A.J. Harris, corner. Mateo Ungalele ends up going to the Cowboys. I think that's a good move for them. They get set. They make it work right there, coming out of Oregon. The Niners take corner. They definitely need corners. Dalen Everett there. Good move for them. Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, going to the Panthers. That's going to be a really fun combo. Tet, Leggett, Coker, and Jordan Tyson. Really nice there. Right tackle, Jennings Dunker, going to the Chiefs. They need to find their way to protect it. No more Kelsey, too, so I wonder how it's going to work with Noah Gray there now. Raiders are up. Raiders are going to take Isaiah World, left tackle. Hopefully that works out for them. Seahawks are up. They're going to take the versatile tight end there, Kenyon Sadiq. I'm really interested in about this one because you would think the Seahawks might have other needs. Now, they're going to lean on Sam Darnold, right? They're good with that. They got Jalen Milroe behind him. They got Darnold for another year, so like they're square there. You would think they would try something else, but Kenyon Walker looks to be an X factor there. They got Njigba, Cooper Kupp still there for another year. They got Sky Moore. They got Torrey Horton growing. I mean, tight end, they got Eli Arroyo with AJ Barner. I mean, that's not a bad group of weapons they got there. I still think they need to do some other stuff with their O-line, but they started this core young, so I think this is doing the right things. And Wosu is a potential block guy, trade block guy. Leonard Williams is still there. Byron Murphy's playing great. I mean, they got a good group of guys. They don't have a Sam linebacker. Ernest Jones, Akeem Davis-Gaither. I mean, really, Ivan Pace is a great pickup for them. Tyrese, Knight is nasty. And their corners are getting there. I think Reek and Witherspoon are fine. Jordan Love's playing amazing now with the Seahawks. And then Nick Amanwari is playing really solid. He's going to be solid. They don't have Kobe Durant anymore, so they don't got a kicker either. We'll keep it rolling. I'm not sure if I'm going to move up, but I think it's always fun to see where these guys go. The Browns, they have so much money invested in the quarterback. I wonder if they're just going to cut Deshaun Watson, but in real life, there's no more guaranteed money next year, so Deshaun's gone. Vikings take the guy we wanted in Averion Terrell. We wish him the best of luck. I thought he was a very solid corner. Rams take right tackle Blake Miller. They continue to get that going there. And then, let's do that. Their next pick, back-to-back picks. The Rams are going to go ahead and get Deontay Lawson, Sam linebacker there, building up. So they got both sides, and he looks to be freaking legit. Rams always find a way. Nussmeier to the Steelers. So they can keep trying to build that out. Bills take left tackle Caleb Lemieux. So everything feels chalk basically right now. Nothing outside of the mock. And that's what I wish. Like, the mock is the mock, but it shouldn't follow it all the way. People make decisions that don't really match up, and I love that kind of like craziness. I wish the CPU would trade a little bit more in the draft, but it is what it is there. Jake Slaughter to the Lions. They build up that O-line. They have a pretty good defense already. Kamari Ramsey to the Patriots. They get a solid free safety there. I would think wide receiver, I guess Diggs is still pretty solid. Keyshawn Boutte is pretty good, but I think they would go after a little bit more there. And then Eagles take a safety, it looks like. We head to the second round. Dylan Thieneman is the last pick there of the draft. So, I mean, when you look at our board, we'll check it out and see what we have here, right? What's out there? Is anything freaking me out? I mean, there's still great wide receivers here, and I would be ecstatic with any one of these guys. When you look at the combine, all of these guys would be really fun to have. So, I mean, the physical with Denzel Boston would be good. I mean, you could get a corner still in Mansour Delane, who's pretty solid. but wide receiver is probably screaming a little bit more for me here in the second round than it is for any other position. So we'll see what happens here in these picks, because now we're in the spot. There is no mock. CJ Allen gets snagged up there, the Mike linebacker. So linebacker's getting snagged up early here. Denzel Boston, the big wide receiver. Ooh. Oh, he's Denzel Boston out of Washington. That is hilarious. That's why I said Denzel Washington. Texans are up. They're going to take left guard. It looks like it is Vega Lawan out of Penn State. That's a good move right there. Saints take Carnell Tate, wide receiver, to pair up with Christian Olave. Browns are up. What are the Browns going to do here? They take Makai Lemon, wide receiver, out of USC. That's a great move for them. I mean, you can't complain about that. That's a great decision. Chris Brezel II, big wide receiver right there, taken by the Bengals. The Bears are up. They go right edge. Cassius Howell. Jets are up. They're going to take Perkins. I think that guy's first name is, Suntarini Perkins out of Ole Miss. So we're up now. There's still a wide receiver out there, so it's not like to say like, hey, we got a problem. We could go after Concepcion. All the wide receivers we wanted are gone, but I think you think about now, right? Now that those guys are taken, do you go after some pieces here that you think could really help us out? There is a good guard here. I think there was a center, 20 years old, Connor Liu, that could be a really nice snag, maybe in the third round. But I think you got to be okay with some of the pieces that we have here. David Bailey out of Texas Tech is a pretty solid guy as well. Could help us out along the way. But I am looking at a corner. These guys are a little bit thinner, but I mean, the guy that I think is Mansour Delane out of LSU. Really solid shuttle, decent cone. This cone is a little bit, I mean, it's like top 10, top 3 or 4 on the out of the 10 that I see there. Broad jump a little bit lower, so the acceleration is going to be a little bit higher for Malik Muhammad out of Texas. But when you look at these two guys, man, they're just ranked right next to each other. So it's like, who do you want, right? And LSU is pretty solid. Let's look at the attributes. I mean, when you look at the attributes here, Malik Muhammad's got a higher, he's got the catch. I think you take the Texas cat here. You grab him, 21 years old. It says he often looks to rip the ball from runners. Savvy defender with ball in the air. More zone coverage, but he's got A, man coverage, and A, catching. Press, not a press corner, which is fine. But I think this is a guy here that you roll with. Change of directions, got some issues with, but his acceleration is elite. Marginal strength. But look at his shuttle. Like, everything screams like it's a very good corner. We don't necessarily need a corner. It says we need strong safety. I disagree. It says we need DT. I disagree. I think Mike and Will linebacker are probably the more needs. So we'll start looking at those soon, but I'm happy about this. Malik Muhammad, welcome to the Giants. 24 in true value. We drafted him at 41. Sticky in man coverage, quick to digest and responds in zone coverage, faster on tape. Hidden dev. Big play right here for the Giants. Malik Muhammad heading to New York. This is a good move, right? We grab a tackle, helps out Jackson Dart. He can probably play guard in the meantime. We got a corner that helps out with the defense, because we're going to try to continue to press that. Send 4 or maybe send 5, but mainly try to lean on our DBs to hold it down. So love that. Love the decisions there. We'll look at the next couple picks, and then we'll probably sim it just to kind of keep it rolling. I want to be surprised. I like this draft class. We might use it for maybe some future videos just to kind of say, hey, if we were to build a team, what would it look like? Sony Styles going to the Colts there. The Chargers take Darrell Jackson Jr., defensive tackle. The Dolphins are up again this time, and they take corner Marquise Delane out of LSU. So they end up snagging up the other guy that we didn't get. I want to see what the Dolphins end up getting on that piece right there. That could be pretty solid. So we'll advance it now. I don't really see myself trading up here. I kind of want to get surprised on this stuff. So it looks like in the third round, right, we got a couple picks here. And we got 2 picks here, really close to each other. Strong safety, Jelani McDonald went to the Titans. Max Clare went to the Commanders, tight end there. Some edge rushers got off the board. Parker Brailsford ends up getting drafted by the Bengals. And then Xavier Chaplin to the Browns. Justin Haynes, halfback. Jacoby Lane to the Chargers. That's a great pick right there for the Chargers, giving more weapons. So players are falling, right? Cade Klumdick not on the board. I mean, still up there. These are guys that are not really for me. I look at other players here, right? Guys that are within this range. We could go after players like DeAndre Moore, another wide receiver. We could go after a halfback, which I think is not a bad idea. You look at somebody like Nicholas Singleton, who I'm a fan of coming out of the draft. Penn State could be really, really fun. You look at other guys like Keenan here that could, like defensive tackles. You got CJ Baxter. Now, if we go out of this and we just look at all positions, there is a ton of players that are out there right now. You got John Mateer out of Oklahoma. That was a round 1 pick. You got Dennis Sutton out of Penn State. That could be pretty nasty. Jeremy Bernard out of Alabama is out there still. You got Elijah Surratt out of Indiana. You got Rod Moore out of Michigan. He wasn't on our board, but we do need a free safety. When you see something like that, right, he can play technically strong safety, but he's a freak athlete. And Rod Moore could be really fun there. But I think you just want to, I mean, we play the board as we have it. We don't necessarily need, well, when I look at these two guys, I go, I mean, we got Xavier Scott, but is he the guy? This is our 3rd round pick. A break tackle here. You look at a guy that's got, it says physical runner who protects the ball through heavy contact, avoids big hits, fights every inch, excels at creating yards after catch, 6 foot 224. I mean, he can end up competing. He had a really good pro day, it looks like, too. I mean, he could end up competing with Tyrone Tracy for opportunities here. So, I mean, Singleton could work out. I could wait a little bit. I mean, what else is out there? You know, what else is possible? We could go after another tackle, Drew Shelton, right? This is a guy that could technically play guard now. That could help us out for the future. Looks like a little bit of a reach here if we were to go for that. So, you know, he's got all the attributes, but maybe we wait a little bit on him and not stress it out. I mean, did that center go? He did. Yeah, I don't. Oh, because it went during my sim. I was like, man, that 20-year-old center. I think here, if you look at the combine, I mean, you still got speed here. Malachi Fields. He is a 3rd rounder. He's a big guy, 6'4", 223. We don't have a player like this on our team. Decent shuttle, not the greatest cone, but I mean, not even the greatest broad jump, but his vert is there. He's a good press guy. I think these are, you know, this wouldn't be a bad move right here. You grab another wide receiver in Malachi Fields, and man, 447. I like CJ Baxter, man. It's a Texas guy too. We snagged a wide receiver for Texas, a corner from Texas. Yeah, that seems like a reach though, dude. I think Singleton is a better fit for us. We need a halfback. I think we're gonna go. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go Nicholas Singleton. I think we snag up a a running back. You got to be happy about it. A B, 68 in true value. We drafted him at 76, so we found him there. Slippery juke move, spin move creates problems, shows soft hands out of the backfield. Hidden dev, 94 speed, 93. Like, this is good. Another hidden dev guy. It helps us out. We got to start thinking about the defensive side for sure, but that's a good move for us. That works out. Let's see what the Bucks do on their pick. They go Katron Allen, the other Penn State running back there. Not a bad move for them. And we're up here. I just don't know. I mean, we could get another O-line. Is there a guard that was there? See, we can grab this guy right here. I don't think he's going to make it to us. Oh, actually, no, this is it. Oh, that's actually a reach. Oh, our guy got taken. That's tough. Our guy got taken, bro. Okay. Oh, no, he's right here. Left guard. Pregnon. 6'5", 318 out of Oregon. I think you take another O lineman. He's a little bit older, but Pregnon could play left guard, right guard, probably if we need to. It says we need a center, but I think we're good on the center situation. I think you take this, you make it work, and I mean, the wide receiver would be fun. I just don't see us needing another wide receiver. We got enough potential weapons there. So Pregnon, welcome to the team. It says 110 in true value. We drafted him at 78. Not the greatest there. Normal dev. Definitely a reach. Kind of tough, but it is what it is there. We head to the next pick. We do not have a pick, folks, until the 5th round. So a lot of players are going to fall off our board. I mean, we could have went after Rod Moore, I guess, if we wanted to. He was there. But we are in the 5th round now. A lot of players should be gone. We will see what we got here. We got 3. I thought we have 3 5th round picks. We got 2 5th round picks. We got 4 6th round picks. So we got a lot of bullets in the chamber there for us to kind of go for some things. So Savada is still out there. He's a 5th round pick. You got Oscar Delp. I think that's a guy that I'd be really happy to take here. You look at someone like David Oki. I mean, you got some other guys here that wouldn't be bad. Let's look at some of these athletes here. You got McCullough, 6'5", 235. You got Drake Bowen. So you got some linebackers that could be okay here. I think what we want to do is go after another weapon here, and Oscar Delp could be really solid. He's a guy that I think can really shock some people coming out of Georgia. It's a 5th rounder. Do we grab our kicker now? Actually, now that I think about it, do we take the kicker, right? Dominic Savada out of Michigan. He's got A, awareness, B, kick accuracy, and he's got elite kick power. I mean, it's a 5th round pick. I think you take it. I think you feel good about it. We grab him here in the 5th round. 9 in true value. We drafted him at 137. Massive leg whip to boom kicks. Accuracy will need to improve in the NFL, but he's got hidden dev, 97 kick power. We got the dog right there. Really happy we went for him. Glad we did that, man. Shoot, we'll take it. So we grabbed our kicker there. That's a good move for us. We advance. See what other pieces are out there. Looks like Eugene Wilson III out of Florida State, University of Florida, goes to the Cowboys. That really upsets me. Oh, Vincent Anthony Ott is gone. Oscar Delp is gone. Oh, man. Well, we didn't get that, so we got a couple more guys here. We got a free safety. We got some corners that are day 3 guys. And I think you got to be okay with that. You look at some of this right here. You got Trey Moore out of Texas, another Texas cat. He's pretty decent speed, and he's got good vertical. I was looking at this King Mac here. Maybe he falls to us in the 6th round. That'd be nice. Got some will linebackers in the UDFA space, but I think you take someone like Trey. We need a will linebacker. We don't have anything else behind McFadden. Looks like he's got all the ability. 6'3", 249 too. He can play special teams, man. That's what I like as well. Yeah, Trey Moore. Another Texas guy. Good pedigree. We'll take him. Welcome to the team, Giants. Grab him. 131 in true value. We drafted him at 158. Shows knock for getting ball carrier to the ground. Smart, rangy zone defender. Hidden dev, man. This is huge, folks. A little older, 23 years old, but you start getting these like athletes. Like you can get them to do the right thing, but this is like, that's nice. We head to the 6th round for the Giants, and we got a ton of picks here. This is where we can make decisions to trade out, set up for next year, or we can go after some guys here. And this is where I would like to see where we're at, right? It looks like you got a couple guys here that are not too bad. When you look at the combine, you got Antonio Kite out of Ole Miss. Decent vert, okay cone, really good shuttle. He's not a press corner, but that could help us, right? We do need some corners. We could look at King Mac next. Free safety is there, but I don't really know if we really need a. I mean, we'll draft along the way here. Let's see what we can do. So he's 22 years old out of Ole Miss, 180. A lax discipline resulting in avoidable penalties. He's got A catching. He's one of the faster corners out there, and he's got B press, even though his strength isn't there. I'll take it. Struggles to find the ball in the air. I mean, we'll look at it. So it's a C, 189 in true value. We drafted him at 169. IQ and zone coverage, faster on tape, slow to react to developing plays. I mean, good stats. We'll take that, man. He's going to compete with guys that are on the practice squad, and he'll make it. So we'll make it work. We got a couple more picks there, and I think this is where we take the other safety. I mean, it looks like there's some other guys here that could make our board if we want to. There's some wide receivers here. Kyle Lewis out of Pittsburgh. I mean, Jalen Daniels is here. Luke Altmaier out of Illinois, quarterback. I mean, I think we take King Mac. He's the last guy. He's an athlete. He can play special teams if need be too. I think that's something I'd be happy about. Coming out of Penn State, it is one of my favorite schools. He's going to be behind. He's going to compete with Bo Braid, so can't complain about that. 137 in true value. We drafted him at 172. Won't deliver bone-crushing hits. Will drift in zone coverage, leaving open holes. Faster on tape. 91 speed, 95 acceleration, 90 change of direction, 94 jumping. He's going to be behind Juan Thornhill and freaking Javon Holland, so he's going to learn. Not bad there. Oh yeah, we got two more picks here. Love it. So let's see what we got here. What do we want to do, right? Do we want to go after one of these wide receivers? Let's check out the combines on these guys. You got Nick Anderson at LSU. I mean, he's 4.45 speed at 6'4", 125 on the broad jump. His cone isn't bad, and neither is his shuttle. That's a pretty solid stat line there for a wide receiver. Let's see what we got here. Release is a B, deep route is a B, D is his catching issue. Lacks it resulting in avoidable penalties. Excels at creating yards after catch. No, it's just climbing. Exceptional ball control. I mean, LSU wide receiver, Malik Neighbors, maybe he knows him. But good, solid acceleration, change of direction issues. He's a big guy. B release is really intriguing. I say you take it as a 6th round pick. It's not like we're going crazy with it. You make it work there. It says 257 in true value. We drafted him at 179, so he's definitely a problem there. 91 speed. Man, I'll take that all day. we'll make that work. He's not going to be a great OVR, but we'll make it work there. Next pick is up, our last pick of the 6th round here. Let's see what we can do. I'd say when I look at these, right, I want to see if there's anybody else that's potentially out there. And it looks like there really isn't anybody that screams from like who I'd like to grab. There really isn't anybody like that. I'd like to look at, as you can see here, we got some guys. So you can grab a left tackle who's 6'7", 331. You can grab a will linebacker in Samuel Omosigo out of Oklahoma. Let's look at what maybe he's just a freak athlete. 4'7", I mean, decent bench, vertical's better, broad jump a little bit less, 3 cones better. I mean, 6th round pick, you grab another linebacker here and you make it work. A zone coverage too. This guy's another sneaky linebacker for us. 177 in true value, drafted on 182. I mean, you see what we can go with this guy. Good speed, good changer. Man, I'm happy about this. In the 6th round, like, can't complain. We got one more pick coming up here. And the Giants can look at, you know, basically anybody that we want now. Let's just see what's out there. A lot of day 3 guys that haven't made it on any team. But when you look at our favorites here, I mean, you take a chance on another guy here. You look at this tackle, Ethan Onyenwa out of Ohio State. Good team right there. His awareness is a little rough. 6'7", 331, 22 years old. A, impact block, B, pass block. So he's more of a pass blocking kind of guy. Got issues across the board that don't scream that he's amazing. But the A, impact, A, pass block. This is a guy that we could just probably put on the practice squad, and I mean, we kind of just chill like that. If there's a defensive tackle that would have been out there, that would have been sweet. There's nothing on my board that screams amazing there. Now you do got Jaheim Otis. This guy is in Colorado, 6'5", 325. He's a day 3 guy. B, power move, B, block shed. This might be the guy I take a chance on. He's coming over from Deion Sanders' program. But having a block shed and a power move already with his height and weight, I mean, that's a freaking space heater. I think we take that. 23 years old. Welcome to the team, Jaheim Otis. It is not great, but he's got a bull rush. Hand fighting proves allows him to block sheds easily. I mean, it's a 7th round pick. It's not like we lost a whole lot. I technically could have went after that tackle, but I think we're doing just fine there. So that'll end our draft. I think there's some good moves right there. So let's recap our board here. What did we ended up getting? And we got some big plays here, folks. Francis Moigoa is a 79 overall right tackle, 21 years old at Miami. He's got all the stats that scream like we're just going to build up his awareness and he's going to be freaking solid. Looking forward to training him, getting him right. I think this is a right tackle for the future. Our bookends are solid for a very long time. Malik Muhammad is a 77 overall corner. He's going to start moving up on our board, on our depth chart there, and kind of help us out. He'll definitely be a part of like 4 corner group, 3 corner group. Like there's going to be a nice little mix of how we can get this done. 73 catching. This is going to be really fun to see how he plays. Nicholas Singleton there out of Penn State is a 75 overall. All of this screams like this guy's going to be fun to play with in the preseason and in the regular season there. You got, I mean, this is interesting. I just pulled up this guy's name. Don't know why it came up as bad. His name is Emmanuel Pregnon. We're going to update his name there. That is weird that the game says that is bad. Maybe we'll see. So Emmanuel Pregnon. It worked. Really strange. He's a guard out of Oregon, and he's a 73 overall. I think he looks pretty freaking solid there. 6'5", 318. I mean, we can technically move him to right guard if need be, but I think with what we got, we're in a pretty solid spot now to kind of move some guys around, and I think the O-line has been fortified for sure. We snagged up freaking the kicker, Dominic Zavada. He's an 80 overall kicker out of Michigan. 75 accuracy, 97 kick power. I mean, you roll with what you got here. I mean, you got a kicker that we can trust now, and I am so pumped for that. You get a guy like this, man, you got to be happy about it. A will linebacker in Trey Moore, hidden dev out of Texas, 6'3", 249. This is a will linebacker that we could probably play him in the mic as well and kind of have him move around on the board there. This is just more opportunities, more versatility in the linebacking group, which we 100% need. We snagged up Antonio Kite, 70 overall freaking corner in the late round. How do you get upset about this? Plays better a little bit more in zone, but we can train this guy, and I think he could be really freaking nice. Then we went after King Mack, who's a 72 overall safety. Like, how do you get upset about these decisions right here? This is not a bad move. I think this helps us out here. Again, it's about depth on certain positions there, and we give people an opportunity to compete. Samuel almost Seago here, 70 overall linebacker. Again, he's just an athlete. Have him play out there, see what he can do, and maybe he makes the team, or maybe we put him on the practice squad. Either way, can't complain. And Jaheim Otis, he's going to compete. 68 overall. He's going to compete against guys on our team like we got Byron Murphy. We got we don't have Chapman anymore. We got Jordan Riley. We got Elijah Garcia. So there's some depth that they can compete there. Now, could we have traded for DT or something? Maybe we'll do that in the preseason. Don't necessarily need to do that now, but this is a great move for us. What I want to look at next is my counterparts, right? Let's look at our division guys. Thieneman is a 79 overall. Looks like they snagged up a very good player there. Strong safety to take over for Blankenship. So they got a dog right there, man. That's not a bad move. They ended up going after... Oh, no, this is the freezing thing. So I forgot you can't look at other draft picks. So you got to just roll with it here. So they snagged up a running back in Jonah Coleman there. A 76 overall. Tyreek Sapp, another edge rusher. Elijah Surratt out of Indiana. Looking forward to seeing how he's going to play for them. Taylon Green out of Arkansas. He's a quarterback. So they grab a scrambling quarter. Justin Jolly, 70 overall tight end out of NC State. Zachariah Branch, 74 overall. He fell. He didn't go to the combine. And what a find is that, folks. 96 speed, 97 acceleration. We got to deal with that bull crap. Chris Johnson from San Diego State going to the Eagles. And then Joshua Braun out of Kentucky. Left guard, 72 overall. What a find. Cowboys are up next, and they went after Mateo Ogulele, a 78 overall, followed by Anthony Hill, a Mike linebacker, 78 overall. Michael Taafe from Texas, 75 overall. Max Ihanakor, he actually is supposed to replace Terrence Steele, I guess, 68 overall. Eugene Wilson, I think this is a great move for them out of Florida. He's a very good wide receiver. CJ Daniels there, wide receiver from Miami. And then Jack Vealing. Commanders, they're going to take 83 overall TJ Parker. Holy hell. They found a dog. Max Claret, tight end, 75. Bo Prabula out of Missouri, just in case, a fifth rounder. Not bad, 84 speed. So they got a scrambler there. Peyton Bowen out of Oklahoma. Trey Zune, he was supposed to be in the draft last year, and then he stayed back, ended up still not doing so well. And Jamal Haynes. So not a bad group for the division. I wanted to see that guy who went to the Dolphins. There was a corner. He ended up being a 74, so a little bit less than my guy. I guess we were 77, so not bad though. 93 speed, 95 acceleration. You can't complain there. They went for Fano. He was an 80 overall. So he ended up being better than My guy. Wow. Maybe a lesser depth trait. So let's look at what happened here. So Lenoris Sellers is a 74 overall. I don't know if he's going to be enough to take and dethrone Kyler Murray this year. He may have to wait a year. Mendoza's a 73. When you look at the best overall player, it was TJ Parker by a mile. Not a mile, by one. And then Bain at an 82. Jermod McCoy, 20-year-old corner, bro. Holy hell, he's going to be good. Santorini Perkins in the second round, 80 overall will linebacker. He was drafted before us, so I couldn't really do anything there. Peter Woods in the first round. Fano was an 80 overall. Proctor was an 80. Caleb Downs an 80. Avion Terrell, that hurts a little bit, but it is what it is. Yeah, he was a 79 overall, but I mean, I think he's got incredible written all over it, dude. I can't complain there. Fano is good too. If we can get Fano in real life, I wouldn't be upset. Denzel Boston, 79 overall. Justice Haynes, 79 overall, running back out of Michigan. Jeremiah Love going to the Bills. The 1-2 punch now. Jeremiah Love and James Cook. That's not bad there. Caleb Banks, 78. Jordan Tyson, 78. Kamari Ramsey, 31st pick in the draft, going 78. Not bad. Antosaka. I mean, there's some pretty good players across the board there. Slaughter. I think that's a good move there. Carnell Tate. There's going to be there's some pretty good players in this draft. I mean, there's always that thought of like, oh, there's not that great. I mean, 2027 is the place to be. I don't think so. I think there's some really good options in this year's draft. So not bad. Pretty happy with what we got, right? I think we got the right group. I kind of would have liked to see, I mean, I don't know where Delp went. I feel like Delp was I think he was a Dolphin. Royer, Eagles didn't take him. Falcons didn't take him. Man, the Niners have no draft picks. That is insane. Oh, he went to the Jags. 73 overall. It's a really good 87. Yeah. See, I thought about him, man. I really did. I thought about grabbing him, and I think for us in the 5th round, when we look at the picks, we went Savada and then we went Trey Moore. I guess if we didn't go Savada and we went Oscar Delp and then tried to get Savada in the 6th, maybe that could have worked. But I mean, you take the kicker where you can and you're happy about it. We got 66 players on the roster now. We're going to go ahead and advance it. And this is where we'll leave it. We'll leave it in week 1 of the preseason. I mean, we're going to double check our group here. See if we have anything that's truly necessary on our board real quick. Let's double check our depth chart. What do we got? Right? I mean, we could get another backup quarterback, which I think is always good to have in the preseason. Test some guys out, see what we got. Probably another running back. Wide receivers, I mean, we got some guys we can test. We don't have a lot. And look, we got 6 wide receivers on the roster. I did not realize that. We only got 3 tight ends, so we got to get another tight end. I think we got the tackles. I moved Mabo to left tackle since Maui Goa is going to be playing right tackle. Terrence Steele will back him up. John Runnion's got Pregnon at left guard. Smith has got okay, so we're gonna move Meredith up. Edwards is there. Cody Whitehair can play right guard too. Steele's there. Carter good there. I don't think we need too many edge rushers. I think the DTs are in a good spot. Maybe another Sam linebacker to kind of help us out. A couple Mikes, a couple Wills. I guess we are freaking liquid in corners now. We got corners up the yin yang, folks. I'll take it. That's really good right there. We got a ton of corners now to help us out. Damari Mathis, I would rather have him here because I want Beanie and them to work. Just focus on slot. Like, don't do anything else. Free safeties were good there. Strong safeties were good there. No issue with kicker. Got a good punter. So we got 8 spots, I think, is what I have. I believe we got 8 spots. So we're going to go to the free agency market right now. We're going to look for some players. Quarterback. I mean, you got Mason Rudolph, Jake Browning. We could look at Trinidad Tramless out of Ole Miss. I mean, I wouldn't be upset with looking at guys like Caden Salter and them. His throw power is not bad. And let's check out Caden Salter. Let's put him on the board there. And you try some of these guys out and you see what happens. You can't be mad for going after someone. Joey Aguilar out of Tennessee. There's another guy that's out there. His name is like very difficult to say, but I think he's a true freshman. I gotta watch him. Let's look at some throw powers here. I would not try to mess with. I mean, I think we try Hendon Hooker out there. He was a guy I really liked coming out of college. I think he would have been a nice depth piece there. Halfbacks, you got some pretty decent ones, but I think you just look at some other guys right here. Orike Kapenu. Holy crap. How started? Oh, wow. Out of North Dakota State. Anthony Hackerson. You just bring some of these guys on board, man. Who knows? You might be surprised. Evan Pryor out of Cincy. You never know. Just some practice eligible guys. Let's look at some wide receivers here. Vele, Tipton, Javon Baker, Kendrick Law out of Kentucky. What the hell? 97 speed? Evan Stewart out of Oregon. I want to try that. I was a fan of him. I can't believe he's not getting enough love, and he's like a Tyreek Hill kind of freak. Wow. Let's go over to ineligible wide receivers. Who could we take a chance on here? Don't really care about some of these guys. Kadarius Toney retired officially. I don't know if they have him. Ajin slot guy, no thanks. Collins. Chase Claypool, was he in Canada now? Like, that guy's horrendous. And Remigio is a punt returner. Wow, dude, they did Taquan Thornton dirty. He's actually having a pretty good year. I want to check out this guy right here. He actually, San Diego State. He actually plays for the Bills right now. Let's see what we can do with him. Let's look at some tight ends. We're definitely in need of tight ends. Tanner Arkin is a blocking tight end. Ibner. Trey Knox, dude. What a throwback name. Holy hell. That is crazy right there. We're going to look at some ineligible guys. I think, I mean, why not? Bring him back. He didn't make it anywhere else. Throw him back in. See if we can get him. We didn't get a chance to re-sign him, and it is what it is there. I would have loved it if Cade Stover got cut, but it doesn't look like that's the case. Albert Okwuegbunam. That was a name, man. When he came out of college, everyone's like, dude, he's going to be the dog. He's going to be the guy. And never, ever happened. He went to the freaking Broncos and just died on the bench. Let's get him involved. See what we can do there. Don't think we need any O-linemen. Edge rushers. Really think we need an edge rush. I think we got enough edge rushers to really test out and see what we can do. There's someone decent in this space. I say, why the heck not? But I don't think there's anyone that's going to shock me that was worth a draft pick. This guy's got decent finesse move. Who's got a decent... Ooh, Anthony Lucas. We'll try him out, see if he's out there. I think we got enough defensive tackles. I don't think... I mean, Elijah Chapman. You can bring him back. Why the heck not? Bring him back. Nothing wrong with that. Holy crap, this guy's huge. Savion Harris, 6'7", 320. What the hell? Oh, 6'7". Oh my gosh. Wow, he's a big dude. Oh. Let's look at edge rushers. Let's look at Sam. Ineligible. Wow, there isn't a whole lot of Sam linebackers, huh? Let's go to Mike. Troy Dye. He's decent. NFL for 7 years. Wow. Sean Evans. That's a throwback name. Wow. I mean, we could throw him in and see if we can do. I think I might be over the limit now. Think about it. Let's look at the will. Let's see if anyone's on the eligible list. Aiden Fisher out of Indiana. Xavier Sori out of Arkansas. Wesley Basante out of Miami. It's his tackling. Not great, dog. These guys got to learn to tackle, dude. What the hell? Austin Reed, Matt Jones. I'll see. These guys got tackle issues. And okay, I gotta see. Nope. Yeah, I gotta cut 3 players. So Lucas, Elijah, yup. Jordan Riley. Yep, I think that's what we do there. So we cut the guys. We got 75 players on the roster now. I think that's going to be a nice move there for us. We'll adjust the roster real quick before we end the episode. Definitely looking forward to seeing what our guys can do, right? We got some good players here. Kind of crazy that Bellinger's there. I got to move Donnie around and kind of see what we can do. But we'll test it out and see who's going to make this team. Scatterbo's a dog. Tracy's there. We're going to probably sit out some guys in preseason for sure. But we wanted this group to improve, and they 100% did, despite the OVR not moving much. I still think this team looks very good across the board. We got the linebackers that I think are going to help us out over time. It's just about developing more. Like our next scouts, we're going to have to focus on linebackers. Linebackers, defensive tackles in this next in the upcoming scouting group. I think the corners are in a good spot. I think safeties are fine. It's linebackers, defensive tackles, and I would say wide receiver. I think that's going to be the next focus in the upcoming draft, which with Jack Move 619, he's got the 2027 draft updated too. So we're going to keep that rolling there. We'll update the depth chart along the way. I think it's going to be really fun though, man. I'm really looking forward to this year. That'll do it for us today, everybody. If you like what you saw, please drop a like, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and most importantly, subscribe to keep up with the series. I appreciate everyone that stopped by today. Y'all have yourself a good one, and as always, let's go Big Blue.